Hey y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. So I have some pretty upsetting news. You see the bucket down here where we had the piglet is gone, and that is because it did not make it through the night. So that is very upsetting news. I really had hoped that when I picked it up and got it out of the pig pen, I really hoped that I was going to be able to bring it inside. Not that I would have had to nurse it forever, but just enough for it to get back on its feet. Because we do have some pens that I could have put it by itself while it was finishing healing, you know, and all of those things. Because I've told you before, you know, I have had to nurse piglets back to health before. Some of them have made it and some of them haven't. One of the ones I actually didn't think was going to make at one point in time was American Guinea Hog. Who had also got stepped on. It was one of the situations where the mom had piglets, and again, we were really caught off guard. I wish it would be ideal to just leave the mamas in barns all the time, but because they're pigs and they're nasty, we really try not to do that. We want them to be out in the pasture, foraging on good clean grass and clean ground, but ideally, they just need to stay in a barn all the time unless they're being bred and then run the boar out. But that is just not ideal for sanitary reasons. We let them out and roam and then put them up, do the calculation, put them up. We try to put them up about 2 weeks before they're due, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that for different reasons. So that mom had not got put up either, and one of the piglets got stepped on the back, and it literally ripped its skin completely back. I brought it in, cleaned it up. I have some what's called vet bond. I took that flap of skin, glued it back down, and she grew up, y'all, and did amazing. And we were able to sell her, and she did absolutely amazing. So sometimes you win some and sometimes you don't. So that was a little bit of the upsetting news, that I could tell he was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. When I first brought him in, he still had a little fight in his head. So I thought he may actually, if he's not totally paralyzed, he may actually recover and we can help him get better and move on. But then I could tell every time I would go back to him, he was getting a little more limp. Right before I went to bed, I tried to give him one more last feeding, some droplets of milk in his mouth, and he almost couldn't hold his head up. So I actually told Colby, check him right when you get up, 4 o'clock in the morning. He's probably not going to make it through the night, but I tried. So I got him out of the cold. I didn't leave him in the cold. Obviously, he couldn't fend for himself, and he couldn't get to his mom. So the best case scenario was just try to bring him in and do the best that I could with him. But I wanted to show y'all what I was up to today. Y'all see, this is not normally here, but I don't currently have any room in my greenhouse for growing. So I have lots of trees, my orange tree, my lemon trees, my key lime trees, pineapple. I mean, there's so much stuff in that greenhouse that it is literally slam full, and I can hardly walk in to water, much less do any seed starting. So we had these little containers that you see here, these little like shelf stands. Actually, they're not containers, but they're like these little stands that were over in one of our barns. It did have some stuff on it. Colby is probably going to kill me. I did try to keep it neat and organized. As I removed things off, it had lots of spider webs on it. So I drug it over to the house, sprayed it off, knocked it off with a broom, wiped it off with some paper towels. Then I drug it into the house. Yes, I'm that desperate, y'all. So then I got me some good soil to start our seeds in. Actually, Jennings got really mad at me because what did I steal of yours? The only thing he asked for Christmas, really, and I actually need it, and it's like just the perfect size.
So why did not you get the same size seed?
Yeah, I guess I need one too. But let me show y'all, because I don't have any room in the greenhouse right now. Now we're working on that. The frame is up. If you guys are missing my shorts, please go back and watch the shorts. I showed in the last short that I did, the pad is built. It looks fantastic, and we have the frame up as well. So slowly working towards getting that done. But no, I just drug a table out here. I got some bottom trays, some top seed start trays, some labels and a marker. I stole Jennings' wheelbarrow, put the dirt over in there, and brought all the seeds out, went through a lot of stuff. Now today I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted, mostly because we had school, I had errands to run, but in between those I was able to get done what I got done. And we did this whole tray is tomatoes, this whole tray is peppers. Down here I did several flowers with some basil, with pretty much a whole section of basil. Now I did do some flowers for a number of reasons this year. One, I typically have pots around our pool. Last year I did not even put the pots around the pool, but this year I hope to have some pots around the pool, and I'm gonna put some pretty flowers in those pots around the pool just to make the pool look a little bit more attractive. But it also helps with our pollinators. If you guys heard me do a whole spiel on the pollinators on our last video, which is one of the reasons why I planted from this kit down here. I just went through and tried to read some of the ones that I've never planted before that I'm hoping is going to be an easy start from seeds. There are a lot in here, like your calendula, your coneflowers. Those are in here too that I have already grown before. I do not need any more coneflower, but I did plant some calendula. Several other flowers that I have not planted before, but I do have to go through, and lots of basil, which is what I just told y'all. But I do have to go through the rest of our seeds. I know there's some herbs that I want to grow. Chamomile is one that doesn't grow great here in the south. It just gets so hot. So I had it in a spot 2 years ago and got a wonderful harvest off of it. However, last year it did like diddly squat. Like they didn't grow well. I got a couple of handfuls of flowers and that was about it. But the years before that, they did really good. I think the problem was I changed locations. I did have them in an area that got like part sun, part shade, but then I put some this year in pots. I wanted to try to companion plant with pots, and it probably got a couple of more hours of sun, which in our mid to late summer is not good because the sun just like scorches and kills everything. So anyway, I have this set up. We actually already had these grow lights, so that was nothing that I had to buy. We kind of played with aquaponics a little bit a couple of years ago, where we had basically a pool pond in our in a storage room with some grow lights. Not a great, I didn't like the setup. The grow was not great. The light, having to get the lights in the right spot was an issue. Like nothing was planned and worked out right. So I already had the lights. That was no buying there. We just had to go get those out. I do have one more rack right here and some more space over here and right here. So I do hope to get a couple more trays done by tomorrow. I just have a big mess right here that I have to get cleaned up. But for right now, I'm done for the day. I'm just gonna clean up. I've gotta go get eggs. And then of course, the always mighty cooking in the kitchen. And then we're gonna call it a day. But I wanted to kind of show y'all what I was doing. This is something totally different. I wanted to give you an update on the piglet, which I'm sorry to say that it did not make it. We did try our best, but that's just an update there. Sometimes you win and sometimes you don't, like I mentioned before. And for the rest of the day, we're just going to pause what we've got going on. I'll have to finish in another day. I got a couple more things that we have to do for today, and then we are going to start on supper. That one hit. That one hit.
Wait, hold on.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Shooting the bow, I honestly did not think it was gonna be as hard as it is, but y'all, it's not easy. Honestly, it's really hard. I actually nailed my arm twice with the string. We've never been taught. I've never been taught. But I honestly thought, hey, you just get up there, you just line everything up, let the string go. It's a little bit more to it than that. So we've got a lot more practice time to put in for sure, but the girls have really enjoyed it. I guess because it is so challenging and they want to be able to master it, that it's really sparked a desire in them to grab their stuff and come out and shoot. So I am really glad of that. I have a lot to learn too, because it is way harder than I thought. This is the American guinea hog female. As you can see, she's doing fine. Our sheep baby up here is also doing fine. He actually just flew across the yard, running across the yard. So all great news on all the animals down here. I do need to jump in the barn though and get the eggs for the day. Welcome to the second day of the Max life. Today we are just spending some time cleaning up. It is really, really cold outside and there's actually not a whole lot we can do. We've really just kind of kept the fireplace on because our high today is like 39, which is pretty cold. I did have to go out and feed the cows for Colby this morning, and I had my overalls and a really thick jacket on, which I know a lot of y'all are getting snow and a lot colder temps than what we got, but I really despise the cold weather. So I dressed real warm, ran out. I thought I'm just gonna run into the field, dump the bag of feed, run back inside. Y'all, before I could get back in, my hands were so cold I could hardly move them. That's the kind of cold that I say it just chills me to my bone. But anyway, there's not a whole lot we can do outside today, so the girls have really just spent a lot of time cleaning up their area of the house. They're going to help me in the big room. I'm going to be cleaning upstairs, Aiden's area, and the master bedroom, master bathroom, and really kind of just cooking supper again tonight. Is kind of like the cycle that we just kind of do over and over. But today there's not a lot we can do outside. It rained a lot last night. It's really, really cold and really wet. So there's just not a whole lot we can do today. So we're just kind of picking up inside, making this just kind of like our cleaning day, which needed to be done. It wasn't terrible, but we did need to clean up. I've got all my little seeds and stuff that are still going over here under the grow lights. I don't think I'm going to do much seeding probably today. I wanted to, but because it is so cold and so wet outside, I really don't want to go sit in that, but I also don't want to bring all that dirt and stuff inside either. So I'm going to give it a couple more days. I'm hoping in the next couple of days it'll at least be warm enough for me to go outside and at least start some seeds to be able to bring them in and put under the grow lights. But y'all, that is really where all that we're really up to today. Just trying to tidy up the house, get some things done inside, because there's just not a whole lot that we can do outside today. But thank you guys as always for watching. You know, I've talked to y'all about Survival Garden Seeds. That is just the brand that we use. We have actually bought some from M.I. Gardener before in the past. I would say about 25% of the seeds did okay, and the 75% just did not grow well in our area. Either didn't sprout or didn't grow well in our area. So that's why we were on a huge search to try to find a different brand. Hoss Tools, we've used some. We've had pretty good success with growing those, but Survival Garden Seeds really sold us with their practical instructions and seed saving instructions. And like we told you multiple times before already, we've met Jason. He is a really, really great guy, fantastic guy. To him, it's more than just selling a product. And that kind of drew me in when he really talked to us about his wanting to provide good quality seeds. And then more than that, he wanted to people to be able to survive off of learning the skill of seed keeping, which was a total sale for me because that's what we're all about. So thank you guys again for watching. This was probably a little bit of a shorter episode than what we usually put out, but just kind of letting you know what's going on the farm and the really sad news about the piglet that we couldn't save. But guys, we're very thankful for you. Thank you guys for always tuning in and watching. God bless and happy homesteading, y'all.